You better not be cheating on her. If you are seeing someone else, Yusuke, you should break up with her beforehand. He's like, Mom, she's not my girlfriend. Botan is just a friend who happens to be a girl, and she has cooties. So why? You have cooties, Summer Baby. It's true. Hello, I just wanted to thank you for clicking on my video, and I wanted to let you know not only do I create content in my YouTube channel here, Class in a Glass, but I'm also on Twitch where I play single-player games, multiplayer games. I do movie reviews, cartoon reviews, and a whole bunch of other stuff. Also, it would be a big help if you can check out my Patreon, where you can gain access to audio commentaries, reactions, and the ability to submit questions for my podcasts and videocasts. And all that content can be found in the links below. In the meantime, enjoy the video. But now, my friends, we're going to go ahead. I think I got a nice little comment, too, on the YouTube video. Very cool. Very cool. But now, chat, we're going to move on to the next part of the stream, which is my spoiler review, my scene by scene breakdown, chat, to Yu Yu Hakusho episode 7. In case you don't remember, chat, Baby Jesus and Botan, they have recruited Yusuke Urameshi against his will to be the spirit detective of Earth. What does that entail? He has to hunt down demons, chat, and he's on his first big case, okay? He's hunting down 3 big demons. One guy's name is Goeki, chat, who is like this large demonic presence who eats the souls of children. You got this other guy named KURAMA, chat. He's a pretty boy. He's got red hair and green eyes, but he seems kind of aloof. Seems kind of aloof and a bit of a pacifist. So we're going to learn more about him in this episode. And the other guy, Chad, his name is Hai. I'm going to call him Whittle Vegeta. Because he's Vegeta, but what if Vegeta was even smaller? Because, I mean, he already has a Napoleon complex, but Jesus goddamn Christ, he's even worse. So we'll be talking about him in just a bit, chat. But we left off in the last episode, Yusuke Urameshi, he was engaging in a battle with Goeki, the child-eating demon. And it's not going well, chat. He's getting his ass kicked. He wasted the spirit gun earlier on Professor Snape. Shouldn't have done that. Should have saved that for Goeki, chat. And Goeki's just throwing him around the goddamn woods at this point. He's grabbing by the leg, throwing him in some fucking trees. But I will say, Yusuke, he could take a beating pretty goddamn well, chat. All those years of fighting bigger people than himself and kicking a lot of ass. But this is his first time in a long time, I think, that he's getting his ass kicked. And he's like, I don't know how to beat this guy. I've kind of blown my load. I thought I could take him down. I got overconfident, and I'm getting my ass kicked right here. And right before Goeki grabs him, he's like, I hate to bruise the meat. Like, he refers to Yusuke as meat at this point. You're not alive. You're food. I hate to bruise the meat. Makes it all stringy and gross, but I guess I'll eat your soul this way. But before you can start voring Yusuke Urameshi, chat, we see around them, we hear the voice of Botan, and we see all these lights coming out of the forest, and she's acting as if there's like a whole bunch of people, because, you know, she's sounding like, looks like there's a clearing up there, it'd be perfect to make camp. And then you hear this one guy's like, I don't know, I heard that there's monsters in this woods, better get all of our weapons ready, all of our rifles and swords and daggers. And Goeki's like, jeez, it's like multiple people coming towards me. I can't handle all these people by myself. Well, you got lucky, you little shit. I'm gonna vor you later. Smell you later. And he leaves. He leaves, chat. He drops Yusuke on the ground, and Botan, she comes in there, chat. She comes in, and she's like, oh God, Yusuke. And then we cut, chat, and it's the next morning, and Yusuke, he's like, wow, he wakes up in his bedroom. She's like, how the hell did I get here? And his mom comes in, his mom's like, Yusuke, you're back. And he goes, oh, how you doing, Mom? And then she just starts hitting him. She starts whacking him, chat, like forehand and backhand. Very aggressive. Afternoon Tune, welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for the 12 biddies. Look at that. 2 more than 10. Thank you for the 12 biddies, Afternoon Tune. I hope you're having a very nice evening. Currently, we are watching Yusuke's mother beat him. And she beats him. He's like, Mom, why are you beating me? She goes, because you came here late at night. You were all bruised up. It looks like you had been fighting. And if it hadn't been for that girl, Botan, I don't know what would have happened. And he's like, Botan? And all of a sudden, chat, we see Botan lean against the door looking all cute and sexy. And she goes, well, you did get yourself in a fight, but thank God I managed to carry you home. He's like, you carried me? And then she's like, Botan. Because she gets close to him. And he starts whispering, out of the mother's, earshot, because, she's fucking drinking. She's not drinking. You know what, chat? I was going to say she's an alcoholic, but she's not drinking this episode. This is the best the mother has been. And yes, it started out with her beating the shit out of her son, but it's the best that she's ever acted in the series so far. But she ignores, I guess, the whispering between Botan and Yusuke. I guess it's like, I guess it's boy-girl talk or whatever. But Botan's like, Yusuke, listen, I've taken on a human form, which is basically my regular ghost form, but, I look really cute in this outfit, don't I? He goes, no, he gets like a little nosebleed, because she does indeed look pretty cute, chap. But at this point, the mom's like, what are you guys talking about? And he's like, Mom, Botan and I need some privacy, okay? She's like, all right, but practice safe sex. And he's like, Mom, we're not gonna have, Jesus. And she walks out of the room. And Botan is like, Yusuke's like, Botan, how did you find me? I use this demon compass. It's like, why didn't you give that to me earlier? We forgot. But you can use this demon compass to track down demons. It'll point in the direction of demons that are nearby. And he's like, well, that's pretty fucking cool. And it's like, nice. Baby Jesus also is watching them. He loves to watch Baby Jesus. He loves watching the kids. And he's like, now's not the time for talking, you two. You need to track down these demons, because my dad is going to be really pissed. He's going to go Old Testament on everybody. And I was like, all right, whatever. But we cut back to the mom, and she's making some tea, and we see on the good old TV chat that apparently 4 kids have fallen into comas, all right, because Goeki, he has the ball of that sucks out kids' souls, and he eats them, all right? And so we got to kill Goeki, and we got to get that ball back from him. It's very, very bad. Very bad. I mean, we then go back into the room where Botan and Yusuke are talking. She says, listen, you're going to have to use this. This is a concentration ring. It'll make your spirit gun, your finger bane, really, really powerful, okay? But again, it'll exhaust you, so you can only use it once, all right? He's like, that's pretty fucking cool. And so he takes the ring, and they yeet themselves out the window, and the mom comes in, and she's like, I made you 3 some tea, but they're gone. She's like, where did they go? Eventually, we cut to this little girl in a park, chat, and she's just playing, like, la, 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 and all of a sudden, she sees the weird child vor ball on the ground. She's like, what's that? And she picks it up, and Goeki steps, and he's like, hi, little girl. He goes, hi, mister, is this your ball? He goes, yeah, and the thing sucks her soul out of her body, and he picks up the ball and goes, oh, I love sucking kids' souls. It's like, that's kind of gross and weird, and he walks away. But eventually, chat, right before he's about to leave and go back in the forest to hunt down more kitties, we see Yusuke up here. He goes, hey, you son of a bitch. And he's like, wow, how did you track me down? What are you doing? He's like, I tracked you down with this demon compass, and I wanted to fight you again. And he literally says, I wanted to fight you again because I'm stupid. It's like, okay, all right, sure. And he's like, all right, cool. And Goeki transforms into his demon form, and they start fucking fighting. They start fighting, chat, but again, Yusuke's like, okay, well, I'm not going to use the finger bane on him yet. Don't want to be finger baning a demon quite yet. I'm going to use my physical abilities. Not a match. Just not a match for Goeki, chat. Goeki's throwing him around the goddamn woods again, and he's hitting him in the gut. But it's like the demon, like their skin is super tough. It's like hitting concrete. So it's like, that's not going to work either. And right before Goeki's about to just like smush Yusuke's skull into the ground, Botan starts throwing shit. Botan takes on her human form, and she starts throwing things at Goeki. And Goeki's chasing after her at this point. And like this isn't good. Eventually Yusuke, he grabs like a tree trunk, because I guess he's super strong now, and he like sharpens into a point. He tries to stab into Goeki's abdomen, but that doesn't work. And he's like, ha 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 ha, you can't defeat me. I'm just gonna stand here and eat these kids' souls now, and then I'll eat the two of you. And he's like, and right before he's about to eat like the little girl's, oh, by the way, the other kid souls are in his belly, and he's constantly rubbing his tummy like, those kid souls feel so good in my tummy. Right before he's about to eat this one girl's soul, Yusuke takes what was left of the steak he made and just boom, shoves it in the demon's mouth, shoves it in Goeki's big old gob. And fucking, Yusuke is like, yes, that's what, now keep your mouth open, I'm gonna finger bang you. And he aimed, he's like, and then boom, he finger bangs him right in the mouth, chat, blows his head off. Blows Goeki's head off, and he falls down dead, just brain matter and demon blood everywhere. And we see the little girl's soul and the three other souls, or whatever, how many souls there were, and they all scatter and they go back to their bodies. And just to confirm that's what happened, we go back to the little girl's body, where that other soul goes inside of her mouth, and she wakes up. She's like, and all these people around her like, are you okay, little girl? She's like, I want my mom, but she's fine. She's just horrifically traumatized, chat. But childhood trauma, that builds character, chat. I mean, yes, she won't be able to sleep again, normally until she's like in her late 20s, but that's okay, chat. She's alive. That's alive. Yusuke and Botan did good. Now, Yusuke and Botan, they're walking back home, and Yusuke refuses to lean on Botan because he doesn't want any of those icky girl cooties. As we all know, girls are covered in germs and cooties, and he doesn't want none of those cooties. And so he's walking, and then we see Kurama, chat, just walk right by. And Yusuke's like, is this guy just walking right by me? And then Kurama's like, he telepathically communicates with Yusuke, and he says, hey, listen, man, I don't really want to fight with you at all. I don't want to fight. Can we just talk to each other in 3 days at this location here, at this address? And Yusuke's like, well, you know what? I'm too tired to fight you anyway. And to get the medallion, he has the moon medallion, chat, which he desperately needs. And he's like, well, I'm too tired to fight you for the medallion, so at this point, I just have to agree. I'll meet you in 3 days. He's like, cool, thank you. And he walks away, and Botan's like, that was the guy. She's like, I know, but we can't fight him. Let's go back to the apartment, okay? And so they go back home, where Yusuke's mother is fussing over him and everything and saying, is Botan your new girlfriend? I thought Kiko was your girlfriend. You better not be cheating on her. If you are seeing someone else, Yusuke, you should break up with her beforehand. He's like, Mom, she's not my girlfriend. Botan is just a friend who happens to be a girl, and she has cooties. So why? You have cooties, summer baby. It's true. Good to have you here. And thank you, Luke, for the 3 minis, because he doesn't want to be embarrassed. I guess he doesn't realize how Bane and Botan. I know, Baton's like, Baton is, I said Baton. Botan is Bay, chat. She's a cutie patootie. Why wouldn't you love him? Oh, Fatty Space Carrot, love the summer. Oh, thank you so much. Happy to have you here, Fatty Space Carrot. By the way, I love your name. Excellent name. But we cut back to the apartment, and he's like, Mom, let me go talk to Botan. And so she's like, okay, but, practice safe sex. We're not fucking each other, Mom, my lord. But then Botan's like, listen, I don't feel comfortable with this. And I will say, Yusuke's like, you know what? I trust him. She's like, are you serious? And he's like, listen to me. When I first encountered the three of them, Kurama and Goeki and little Vegeta, they, Kurama, when I walked up, they were having an argument. And Kurama was like, I don't want to work with you guys anymore. And so clearly he was done with them, and he seemed really sad, and he didn't seem aggressive at all, unlike the other two, which were really aggressive. And I'm gonna take him at his word. At this point, there was nothing we could have done tonight. And the thing is, though, because Botan, she goes and sees Baby Jesus, because she wants to, I want to talk to you about this whole situation here. And Baby Jesus is like, well, first of all, cool that you got the kid's sucking ball back. Appreciate that. But the thing is, in 3 days, the moon amulet will be powered up by the moon, okay? And so whatever's going to happen, he could destroy the Earth. He could be just buying himself time by the time he talks to Yusuke. And she's like, I guess so, but Yusuke trusts him, okay? And listen, I know that we have our problems with Yusuke, but he has been growing as a person. He has made a lot of the right decisions despite, our misgivings about him. So I trust him. Baby Jesus is like, fuck. All right, just watch him. Just watch him. And so eventually we cut to Yusuke. It's 3 days later, and he goes to the address that Kurama gave him. And it's a hospital. And, Yusuke is like, wait, what? And he's like, hey, listen, I appreciate you coming here. I just want to show you someone, okay? I just want to introduce you to someone. He's like, okay, this is a trap. He's like, it's not a trap. Please, I'm giving you my word. And so they go up the stairs, and they go to this hospital room, and we find out that the person in this room is Kurama's mother, and she's incredibly sick, chat. She has some sort of disease, and she's, days away from dying, basically. And Kurama goes, how are you doing, mother? She goes, oh, and she calls him Susuke. I think she calls him, Suchi. She calls him Suchi. And he's like, Suchi? And he's like, that's my human name. And he's like, all right, you got to explain this. He's like, just give me a moment. And he's like, Mom, do you want me to peel an apple for you? Have you eaten your fruit today? I know how much you love your apples and oranges. She's like, I'm not hungry right now. Why don't you go? Well, who's your friend? And he's like, Mom, why don't you just rest? I'm gonna go talk to my friend Yusuke. And she's like, okay. And so they go up on the rooftop. He's like, listen, I'm a demon, okay? I was a fox demon years ago. I think his name was oh God, what was his name, chat? His name was YOKO the Fox. He was YOKO the Fox, and he was this trickster demon. And he spent hundreds of years alive, indulging in various vices, and eventually he got bored, and he's a master thief, and so he would go into the human world and steal certain things, and go into the spirit world and steal things. There's a master lockpick, that kind of thing. But eventually he was attacked by a hunter in the spirit world who tried to kill him. He was injured by the hunter, and he, in order to survive, and I'm like, this is fucking weird, he literally concepted himself inside of this woman who is his human mother, chat. He's like, all right, I got impregnated. He impregnated this woman, and he became her baby and was raised by this couple, chat. And so he was always aware that he was this fox demon, YOKO, but he lived his life as this person, as this Kurama, as this Suchi, whatever the hell. He's got 3 fucking names. He's literally Jesus. He's Jesus, and he's lived his life for 15 years. His father passed away. His human dad passed away, and, his mom is gravely ill. She's dying of the same thing that the father died of, and even though he's fully healed after these 15 years of being on the earth, in this reality, he's like, I love my mother, and my human mother, and I love my father, and I couldn't help him then, but now I realize what I can do to help her, okay? And once the moon is full, after these 3 days, the amulet is powered up, and I can wish her back. I can make sure she's fully healed completely. It's my one wish. And Yusuke's like, okay, I mean, I get that. I mean, that's crazy, but I mean, why work with those guys that you were working with? He's like, I didn't want to, okay, but it was the only way to get into, God's vault, all right? And now that I have it, it'll be over. And right before he's about to explain what needs to be done for the amulet, the doctors come in Kurama, Jesus Christ, your mom's dying. He's like, oh no. And they go inside, and she's in critical condition right now. Literally they say she has a few hours to live, or she'll be dead. And he's like, okay. And so he goes back on the rooftop with Yusuke, and he's like, will you allow me to perform this ritual now? And Yusuke's like, sure, if it's to save your mom, of course. And so he does the ritual, chat, and the medallion's like, hi, how you guys doing? What do you want? And he's like, I wish to save the life of my mother. And the medallion's like, that's a good one. Okay, well, in order to save your mother's life, you have to die. That's the thing. So whatever your heart's desire is, it will literally take your heart. It'll kill you in order for your wish to come true. And he's like, are you good with that? And he's like, yes. And Yusuke's like, whoa, dude, what do you mean? What are you gonna sacrifice your own life? What are you talking about? And he's like, it's to save this woman's life. She's cared for me like her own son, and I am her son, and I have to do this. And Yusuke's like, no, and he's like, he interferes with the process as the medallion's doing it. and sucking all of Kurama's energy out of him. And Yusuke's like, no, I won't let you experience that. I mean, if you die, then your mother will live, and she'll be mourning you for the rest of her life, and I've seen what this is like. And he remembers his mother, how she was mourning him when he was dead. And he's like, Medallion's like, yeah. And he's like, will you take my life instead of Kurama's? Medallion's like, oh, okay. And right when this all happened, Botan shows up. She's like, Yusuke, what are you doing? And then big explosion, chat, and both Kurama and Yusuke, they're on the top of the hospital on the rooftop, and Kurama like, he gets up, he's like, I'm alive, mother, and he goes after his mother. Well, Botan, she goes down, or not in a sexual way, but she goes down to Yusuke, and she's like, Yusuke, what have you done? He just gets up. He's like, I'm alive. Cool. And then Medallion's like, oh yeah, so you performed such a good, noble deed, I decided not to take your life. So you both get to live, and his mom gets to live too. Anyway, see you later. And then he just goes back inside his little medallion, and Botan's like, well, that was fucking easy. And then we cut back to Kurama, who he sees his mother. The doctor's like, it's a fucking miracle. It's like the disease just left her body completely. And he's like, oh, thank God. And she's in bed, but she's still very tired and very weak, but she's the worst is over. And, the mom's like, oh, Kurama, I love you. He's like, I love you too, Mom. I love you too. And then, Yusuke and Botan, they go down there, and Kurama turns to him. He said, listen, I know what I did was wrong. I'm ready to accept my punishment for whatever it will be. And that, my friends, is my scene by scene breakdown to Yu Yu Hakusho episode 7. I forgot the name of the episode. Kurama is a good guy. I think we're going to call it that, chat. Anime is weird. It's just like magical shenanigans. They're just making stuff up on the spot. But I'm like, I like it. I like Kurama as a character. Nice. What's his other name? He has 3, this character has 3 names. His name is, he was named YOKO the Fox, Kurama. And now he's called something. He's called, like, his mother calls him Suki or something. I'm like, all right, listen, I struggle with some of these names at first, chat. I remembered his 2 fucking names. I'm going to call him those 2 names. Thank you. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. Little gun. Man, I'm blasting. Have no clue what's being spoiled for me right now, but it sounds badass. It's a lot of fun. Keep being your studly self. Ooh, thank you. Bring in the energy, big dog. No, thank you, Little gun. Appreciate that. Enjoy the high. Ooh-wee. How you boys? How do boys know that girls have cooties? What if boys have instead? That could be true. I'm just going by what Yusuke Urameshi saying. He's saying girls have cooties, and I'm like, all right, man, if you say so. Maybe in this world they all got cooties. I don't know. Kurama's both one of the purest and one of the most badass characters. I figured he is. Just by the way he talks and his mannerisms. And I imagine they say, like, next time on Yu Yu Hakusho episode 8, little Vegeta's is an asshole, which makes sense. Because he is clearly like, oh, you're clearly based off of Vegeta. Japanese mythology, it's a hoot. It's Suichi, that's it. Yoko, Kurama, or just Kurama. See, that's what I've been calling him. Kurama. But his name is Suichi. I was like, Suki or something? Listen, he's got 3 goddamn names. I'm happy I remembered 2 of them. 2 out of 3 is not too bad yet. Sonic Chew. Oh, no, not Sonic Chew. No. Thanks for the touch, of course. I'll be doing this. I'm trying to do an episode of Yu Yu Hakusho per week, chat. Per week. And it's been fun. Yoko and the Fox is Sean Lennon's past. Maybe that's what he done. Yusuke is saved by luck in this episode. Get used to this. It happens. I figured. He got saved by luck in the previous episodes. And everything with his body, and baby Jesus always giving him another. It's like, oh, okay, you get another chance, Yusuke. He's like, okay. But I like it. I like the character so far. I'm interested when Kurabaro gets that weird, like, fire sword or something, or spirit sword. It looks pretty badass, chat, if I do say so myself. But I hope you guys enjoy this review. Tomorrow, in terms of the reviews, chat, I'll be doing Scream 3 on Tuesday, scene by scene breakdown. And then on Wednesday, chat, Scream 4, which I've never seen before. I'm going to probably watch that tonight, which would be really, really fun after my stream as I go to bed. Now, when Yu Yu Hakusho, shut up. I'm walking over here. Also, you couldn't see Knife Running Hard Hands. Not one of your best intros. If I can give a little criticism. But an absolute pleasure to have you here. Just telling people about the new reviews that are coming up for the rest of the week. And then, chat, on Friday, I'll probably be doing a TV review along with my opinions and thoughts on Scream 2022. It's going to be super exciting, chat. But before I continue on, okay, I like the Nia Brownie. No Name Woman, thank you for gifting a sub to Nia Brownie. Oh my lord. There it is, chat. You get access to 5 new months long of ad-free viewing, Nia. You Hakusho it up. Pleasure to have you. All right, chat. I'm going to be right back. I'm going to refill my beverage. In the meantime, please entertain yourselves amongst yourselves. I shall return. Stick around.